Here we are, fall in New England, and in Southern Maine and Seacoast, New Hampshire, the biggest question that we're continually getting asked is, what is the real estate market even like? Is it a seller's market? Is it a buyer's market? Are interest rates going up? Are they going down? Should I sell now? Should I wait? There's so much noise in the world right now that it's really tough to discern exactly what's going on in the real estate market. And so today we're going to dive right into that, figure out exactly what's going on in Southern Maine and Seacoast, New Hampshire, so that you can make an informed decision about what to do next. I'm your host, Cam Avery, local real estate agent in the area. Let's go ahead and get into the video. And so let's start by talking about Southern Maine. Here in York County, home values are continuing to appreciate. In fact, the median home value right now is $540,000, which is a 3.3% year-over-year increase in value. And so while we're not necessarily seeing 7 or 8% appreciation or even higher, we are still seeing the market continue to slowly appreciate in value. We are definitely seeing a stabilization in value, while not necessarily seeing massive appreciation that we were seeing in the last couple of years. Right now, sales are actually up 6.7% compared to this time last year, and so we are still seeing homes continue to sell in Southern Maine. Although I will say it is a very segmented market, and so it really depends where you are, what type of home you're selling, and exactly what condition it is to determine whether or not it's going to sell quickly or potentially sit in the market for longer than usual. And right now, the average days on the market in Southern Maine is 12 days, which is still incredibly low. And the list to sold price ratio is 99.4%. And so to give you some context, in a buyer's market, we're looking at 80 to 85% list to sold price ratio. And so the important takeaway here in Southern Maine, it's still very much a seller's market, but it's segmented. Are you in a second home market? Well, that's a different story. We're definitely seeing a slowdown in the second home market. Are you in a highly desirable school district in the $400,000 to $600,000 price point? Good news, your house is still most likely going to sell very quickly. And so it's really important that you know where you sit in the market as it pertains to segmentation to understand exactly what to expect when thinking about selling. And so now let's talk about Seacoast, New Hampshire, which is very similar, but a slightly different story. And so the median home price in Seacoast, New Hampshire is $582,000. But the big thing to note is that this month, comparatively to this month last year, home sales are actually down 28%. And so significantly less homes sold this month as comparison to the same month last year in the fall. And so what this suggests is that inventory is still scarce. There just are not enough homes for sale in Seacoast, New Hampshire. And as people pull back and start spending time with their family in the holidays, and we're dealing with this government shutdown, it seems like less and less people are putting their home for sale. Now, what that means for you, and I just want you to understand that there are still active buyers in the market today. There are still people that need to move here today. And so what that means for you is that if you do decide to list your home in this market, you're going to immediately stand out simply because there are less homes to compete with right now. And as a direct result of that, the days on the market in Seacoast, New Hampshire is only 10. Just another indication that we're still very much in a highly competitive market here in Southern Maine and Seacoast, New Hampshire. Other parts of the country, you're seeing a big slowdown. And so we may have a temptation to read those headlines and think, well, that must be what's going on here, but it's not. It's highly segmentized. It's very market dependent. And so what I would highly encourage you to do is that if you're seriously thinking about selling your house, click the link right in the description below, book a call with us today, and let's figure out exactly where you sit in the market so that we can come up with a strategy to make your home become the obvious choice so that it stands out among the crowd. And so now let's talk about interest rates. While the Fed continues to drop interest rates, we are seeing mortgage rates lower than they have been all year, hovering around 6.24%. Now, this is great. It's fantastic. It's what we're hoping for. However, we're not necessarily seeing the surge in buyer demand that we were necessarily expecting. My prediction is that if interest rates get into the 5s next year, which they're very likely to do, then we're going to see an explosion in the market as buyers re-enter, and those that are sitting on the sidelines waiting to sell and move are going to enter the market when they see interest rates get into the 5s. And so we're very hopeful for that to happen next year. And so in terms of a strategy as a home seller, the question is, should I sell now? Should I wait? And honestly, the best time to sell your house is when you need to sell your house. If you have to sell because of a move, this is definitely not a bad time to list, as there's less homes for sale, and so your property will stand out among the crowd. However, if come next spring we do see rates begin to drop even further, then we can anticipate more buyers flooding the market and more competition as 2026 heats up. Again, would love the opportunity to sit down, discuss your particular home selling goals so that we can make a plan together to win in 2026. I hope everyone has a fantastic Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next month in our monthly market update.